Stop recording video.
Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube video and slash Facebook video because it's also on both platforms. I promised the guys on Facebook, and I do apologise for the mess on the floor. But yeah, I said in my last video that I was going to do a review of the Brownlow BT. I've not been using it for a while. I used to use it in college a lot, and now I'm doing stuff because I'm a radio broadcaster, which is completely irrelevant, but I'm going to start using it for that. So I'm going to talk you through the Brownlow. I've watched some YouTube stuff, YouTube reviews, but I'm not really happy with the YouTube videos, because when you do a review of something, you expect a bit more explanation into it, and something for the blind and visually impaired. You think, you know, there'll be a lot more into it. So I'm going to discuss a bit more when we get into it. First, it comes in a carry case. Note, I wouldn't take out the carry case because it's so hard to get it in. Now, in the carry case, you've got this little thing. I've got nothing in it, but if you want to put your SD cards, pen drives, you can put a PC card in there. I used to put earphones in there, but no, nothing interesting in there now. On the back, I'm going to start with what we got on here. So, we've got the infrared port. Do not use the infrared port. Infrared's rubbish. To the right of... Hold on. Yeah, far left, before you get to the infrared, is the power port. It's a really interesting port. If you need to charge the Brownlow up. After that, you've got the SD card port. Very good, you know. Yeah, SD card port. I used to use the compact flash card with this thing, but the compact flash card wasn't big enough. So yeah, you know, I would say if you need extra memory, go for the SD card and the flash card. Then if you want to plug an embosser and printer or whatever, you go via that socket there. I'll move my hand out of the way so you can see it better. Then you've got USB ports, an infrared, and I think, hold on a second, because there is another USB port, because you can plug this thing into a computer. I think it's underneath the SD card port. But if you want my personal opinion, I think it's an irrelevant port because I use this thing as a computer itself. We'll get into that. I was going to use it as an extra display for my Mac, but, you know. So, it's like, to describe for visual people, if you've never seen a Perkins Braille, there are several versions of these, but I only have the BT version, Brownlow BT and Power. So, at the top, you've got the speaker above the Braille keyboard. And then you've got, for those who are familiar with the Braille keyboard, you've got all your 6 dots. You know, your backspace and your enter. And then you've got your Braille display and you've got your cursor buttons above the display, which are good for... I have a mix on here which I can't show for copyright reasons for the YouTube stuff. I can't show it, but and it's a mix I promised that I won't put on the internet anyway. But if you're in a mix or you're listening to something and you're thinking, I want to go to a certain place of this file. If it's a big file and you're listening, say if it's an album and it's one track and it's several tracks into one, you could actually just, you know, find it by using the cursor and other means. I'm not going to show the media player off because I don't have any, you know, anything that's royalty free on here. And then below the keyboard, or to the front of the Brownlow, you've got what they call thumb keys, your backspace, cursor back, cursor forward, and enter. Okay, so I'm gonna just show you the left and the right, and then we'll get into actual talking about it. So, as I open it up, there are 3 things on the front. You've got your power, the button above the power switch. And anybody wanting to buy a Brownlow or is looking at this one, this is a very important key, and I only say this very once. This is they say this button here, which is the one that's hard to get to, and it tends to restart my Brownlow when the battery charges. Anyway, that's completely irrelevant. But it's the restart button. But I would say it's, you know, they tell you not to use that one in case your Brownlow malfunctions. And it's a bit like pulling the plug out of a computer when it's switched on. So yeah, don't use that button. Just don't touch it. Just don't forget it's there, because you might need it, but it's like an emergency button. Below that is the power switch. The rocker switch. It's a very nice feature, and I wish a lot of computers had a nice rocker switch like that. To the right of that, we got the microphone line-in jack type of thing. I will, if anyone is interested in me doing a video on how to record on this thing, I will painfully do one, but I don't use this thing for recording anymore, because my external microphone broke, and I plug internal things in this, and it sounds like crisp and clear, but you can't get any fallback from it. So, you know, if you're recording anything, use something else. I don't know. I might use this as an audio recorder actually on the for when I'm DJing outward bound. It'd be good for an audio recorder. But again, that's completely irrelevant, and you need like big storage media. Then you have the record button, which I did disable, because again, it's completely irrelevant. Now let's turn this thing on and go through the main menu and discuss. I will do other videos on this, because I think it's good to touch on. So let's get this baby on and go through the features and what I use it for. Okay, so here we go, main menu.
Main menu.
So we're into the main menu. Every time you turn it on, unless you've got something open, which they advise you to close before you turn it down, because if you lose battery life, you lose your document as well. So yeah.
Word processor.
Word processor. It does what it says on the tin. It is a word processor. For those who are old-fashioned or have got old parents, you'll hear them talking about word processors, which, like, you know, Microsoft Word, you know, you can do keyword, Microsoft Word. I think you can do other bits and pieces in here. You can do ASCII text and all that palaver. So yeah, that's your Word document. But basically, in a nutshell, what do I use Word for? Writing notes, basically. Writing lots of stuff. Lots of what do I use? What else do I use it for? Yeah, if you want to write like a book or lots of things. I've used it for writing shopping lists. I've used it for writing diaries. I've used it for writing notes. I've used it for taking notes. I've used it for all kinds of things. That's the word processor in a nutshell.
Planner.
Planner does what it says on the tin. It's a diary. It's a calendar. It's like the equivalent of having a calendar on your smartphone or whatever. You can set alarms and it'll scream at you. You know, telling you to go for that appointment, you know, go to the doctors or the dentist or something ludicrous like that. Oh dear. Okay, folks, the Brownlow has died halfway through this thing. Just give me a moment. Dumpty 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 dum. Oh, right, yeah, this is the thing I've spoke of before. And whenever I charge my battery, it always restarts. So, if someone could tell me in the comments why it's doing that, it'd be great.
Psoft CE version 7.5. Build 29.
So maybe it's like...
The clock needs setting.
Ah, we're not going to bother with that.
The daylight saving time. Time. Date. Week starts on. Main menu.
I will do a video on that because I know how to do it. And I think it'd be good to train people how to do that. Yeah. But I don't know why it restarts when I plug the battery charger in. Maybe it needs calibrating. And I'll do a video on that as well, because to calibrate a Brownlow is not how you calibrate a Mac. Okay, so where were we?
Word process planner. Address list.
Address list. Oh, I never use this one because I got other things I've got address, contacts on. And I don't want my contacts on everything. Sorry.
Email.
Email, don't use that either. Because this machine, I didn't, when I got it, I didn't want it touching the internet. Yeah.
Internet.
Again, internet. Yes, your Brownlow can go online. Woo! You just can't, not every site uses, and actually, I've just found out that it doesn't use Apple support. So, maybe it's Apple saying, you need to use our products. And there was Steve Jobs thinking that we wanted everything accessible, and yet his site is not accessible on the Brownlow. So, yeah, I was actually watching another review of this thing and found that it didn't work on that. But it works on the BBC website and there's some websites it works on, works with Google, works with Facebook, I think it works with Skype, I don't know. And don't care because I don't use the internet on this thing.
Media Center.
Media Center, oh yes, very important. It's got media player and voice memos again. A painful voice recorder. It is painful. It's very painful. I did something actually on here, and every time I go to use the external microphone, it makes a horrible buzzing sound.
Book reader.
Book reader I don't use, but apparently you can put books on here. Use it as a ebook reader.
Scientific calculator.
Yeah, that's the one that I don't need.